I've kind of been swimming my whole life. My parents started me off with those baby swimming classes, and I just kept wanting to do more and more swim lessons. But the lessons ended, and they told me that I needed to join a team. So I did, and here we are now. Breaststroke is interesting because it's the stroke that has the most resistance. So you have to balance a number of things to be good at it. Things that you have to do well: body position. You want to be high in the water, but if you try and get yourself too high in the water at some point during your stroke, then you're going to sink low. So you have to figure out what's the best point to stay. You have to figure out tempo because, especially in the short pool, the underwater component is very important, and it takes up more than half of the race sometimes. So if you have a long underwater component and a slow tempo, then you're not going to be breathing very much. You'll just burn all your oxygen and your fuel very quickly. You've also got to balance the resistance within the stroke. There's a fine line between trying to put yourself in a position where you can apply a lot of force to the water and kind of getting yourself caught where your arms are stuck or your legs are in a bad position, and suddenly you're in a position where you're presenting a large frame to the water that's in front of you. So you want to be narrow and sort of slip through the water. It's hard to say whether there's an ideal physique for it because, you know, different people keep on breaking the world record. So it's an interesting stroke to watch, and it's an interesting thing that I have to kind of figure out every day as I pursue getting better. There's a lot of different stuff you can do to make yourself better at swimming, specifically breaststroke. We swim with resistance. There's a lot of different ways you can add resistance to your body. You can pull on the power towers. That's where you fill up a bucket with water. The bucket's attached to a rope, rope's attached to your waist, and you can swim against that. That sort of helps you feel where there should be tension in the stroke as you're applying force to the water. Pretty much every Tuesday here at Cal, we do a pretty good speed-oriented practice where we'll go through probably an hour-long set where we'll go about 5 minutes, just super, super intense, all out. We want to be hitting race speed or almost race speed on that. And then we cool down, try and bring the heart rate down, try and recover for about 15 minutes. And then you get up and do it again, and you're trying to be consistent with the times.
Josh is a very intense thinker, graduated with his degree in physics here from Cal. He's very fun to work with because you can talk to him in a very quantitative way about what he's doing, and that really resonates with him as an athlete. Josh's strength as an athlete is his strength to weight ratio. How he positions his body in the water is one of the best in the world. So he's creating very little resistance in how he's moving through the water comparative to the other world-class athletes that he's racing.
When you're sort of a distance-oriented trainer like myself, it's pretty easy to not bulk up if you're really putting in the mileage, especially at this point in the season. If you're a swimmer, you're doing this motion thousands of times per day. So in the weight room, you want to balance that out so you're not getting injured and just so you're overall a strong athlete. I think that's something that especially younger swimmers are sort of notorious for, is being great at swimming and then being terrible on land. I was definitely guilty of that myself. The gym training regimen that we have here at Berkeley has definitely helped a lot of us just become more athletic overall, which is going to help you get better in the pool. Becoming an Olympian was literally all I've ever wanted. And to work so hard towards that and see that finally come to fruition, not only with myself, but with some of my best friends, was absolutely an unreal experience. Especially with Michael Phelps's allegedly last games. You cannot ask for a better leader. As far as the actual meat of the Olympics, I would say that Olympic trials was far, far more stressful for me. It's just so high stakes, especially for me coming off of my senior year of NC2A swimming. It was sort of like, all right, if I win, I have a job. If I don't, then I really need to figure out what I'm doing with my life here. But then, once I was on the team, surprisingly, it was very, very low pressure in Rio. I really was not swimming with nerves. Right before the Olympic final started, I kind of walked out, just looking up at the arena and just really trying to appreciate and savor that moment before I jumped in. Not hearing the anthem played is a bummer, but I mean, I really cannot ask for more than bring a medal to Team USA. My parents and girlfriend were in the stands. They were pretty close to the podium, so being able to step up there, look over, and wave at some of the best people in my life was awesome. It's a little weird to sort of reset your goals. Being an Olympian was literally all I've ever dreamed of in this sport. So to come back at it and to be a professional athlete now it's a bit of a different experience. I really do enjoy the daily process of swimming, the struggle to find ways to keep improving yourself. So I'm going to try to work really hard at that over the next 4 years. If I can have another Olympic experience in Tokyo, that would be amazing. It's always an honor to represent Team USA, and to do it at the highest level is nothing short of incredible.